Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content surrounding childhood sexual abuse. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you like the content that I share, then please hit the thumbs up button. So in this video, really it's just a quick catch up on somebody I've done a video on a couple of times before on this channel. One of those videos was about things we could learn from this story, and the other video was about when this particular person, KADIAN Nelson, got attacked in prison. So I will leave a link to those videos at the top of this one and in the description box. But today, as I said, it's just a quick update because KADIAN Nelson has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for abducting, raping and kidnapping a young girl aged 12 on her way to school. So I'm going to quickly share with you a bit of this story, and I will also leave it in the description box below. A man who kidnapped and raped a schoolgirl in southwest London has been handed a 20-year sentence. KADIAN Nelson, 26, who previously pleaded guilty to rape, kidnap and threats to kill, assaulted the girl as she made her way to school in MITCHAM. Kingston Crown Court heard the girl was speaking to her friend on the phone when Nelson began following her. He suddenly approached her, placed one hand incredibly tightly around her mouth and then on top of her head. The incident on November the 3rd last year was caught on CCTV and was witnessed by a 10-year-old girl who was walking along the road at the same time that morning. She saw the defendant place his hands over the girl's mouth, and the girl gave the witness a look that indicated that she definitely was not okay. This prompted the 10-year-old to call her older sister, who then called the police. Nelson took the victim into an alley and told her if she did not do what he wanted, he would kill her. The case sparks a fevered vigilante response when the witnesses uploaded a clip of themselves apprehending Nelson in the street. Footage shared to social media last year prompted outrage, with furious locals who were warned not to take the law into their own hands after angry groups gathered at addresses in the area. The prosecution described Nelson as prowling around while wearing a pair of rubber gloves 20 minutes before the victim was grabbed. The prosecutor told the court the call was still connected to her friend and the girl could be heard saying to the defendant, "I'll pay you, take all my money, take all my belongings, just leave me alone." She also asked him where he was taking her, and he told her not to be so effing stupid and to not say a word. He then took off his jacket, told her to take off her coat and school blazer and told her to kneel on the floor before sexually assaulting her. The witness stepped into the alleyway and shouted, "What are you doing with her?" and the defendant said to leave them alone, saying, "She's my sister, she's my family." The defendant was also then chased by the witnesses and quickly made off as the police arrived on the scene. The court heard prior to the attack, several people reported Nelson acting suspiciously in the area. One woman told the police Nelson followed her home and the next day spotted him again, prompting her and her flatmate to spend the night at a hotel because they were so unsettled by his presence. A doctor assessed Nelson prior to his guilty pleas and found he was not suffering from any mental health defect. The victim, who appeared in person at the hearing, read out a victim impact statement to the court. She said it affected her and her family on an extremely personal level and how she views aspects of her life and her relationships. "It has affected my ability to do simple everyday things now, such as go to school or be able to be independent," she added. In mitigation, Nelson's defence solicitor, Mr. Akinsanya, said he was only 26 and had no previous convictions of sexual offences. He added the sentence he will receive will be an extremely difficult one for him to serve, as within hours of him entering his guilty plea, he was seriously assaulted in Wandsworth Prison. Judge John Lodge handed Nelson a 20-year sentence, 12 of which he will serve as a custodial sentence with an extension period of 8 years for rape. He was also given 12 years for kidnapping and 5 years for threats to kill, which will run concurrently. Nelson is also subject to a sexual harm prevention order and has been placed on the sex offenders register for life. Sentencing Judge Lodge said, "The offence was every child's worst nightmare and every parent's worst nightmare. A young, intelligent, articulate girl trusted walking to school as she did every day, as she was entitled to do. You attacked her in a brutal way. if it was not for the prompt actions of those who noted that this shameful and shocking incident could have been worse. The two witnesses have been handed £250 each by the court for their efforts. Wow, so really this story has reached its expected conclusion. As I said, I've done a number of videos on this story because it really did heighten the public interest and raise a lot of emotions with the public. I'm surprised in a positive way by the sentence, because at times sentences in relation to child assault and sexual abuse and rape are not long enough. So I'm really pleased about the sentence. Also, it was nice to see that the judge recognised the bravery and courageous efforts of the two sisters who followed and challenged KADIAN Nelson on his behaviour. The judge did award them £250 each. I suppose their hands were tied. He could have offered them a bit more. But, you know, the fact that he's recognised their efforts by giving them this token of appreciation for what they have done, I think is a really good thing. In relation to his solicitor talking about his sentence, you know, saying that, you know, he was 26 and had no previous convictions of sexual offences, well, it was only going to be a matter of time before KADIAN Nelson was going to commit this act. As you've just heard from the bits I've shared in this story, he was on the prowl looking for women to assault, was up to no good, you know, so it was only a matter of time before he was going to get himself into a situation that would land him in serious trouble. And here we are in this situation now where he has been given a 20-year sentence for what he did to that 12-year-old girl. And regardless of the fact he has no previous convictions for sexual offences, the sentence that he was handed by Judge Lodge is well deserved. Unfortunately, for those who choose to commit these crimes, this is part and parcel of the consequences they have to face. Whether that is serious jail time, being shamed in public, you know, I'm not saying assaults are right or anything, but these are things that are more likely to happen to those who perpetrate crimes against children. Now it's up to the prison service, the police, to, you know, make sure that he's in a place where he can serve his sentence without being assaulted, but that is not on the public. That is not nothing to do with the young girl. You know, that shouldn't be a burden she will have to carry or anything like that. You know, this is just part and parcel of what happens when these types of people commit these crimes. And whilst I'm not saying that I wish for him to be assaulted, this is part of being able to understand that people really do not like these types of crimes against children. Also, it is good that when he comes out that he will be subject to a sexual harm prevention order. I will be doing a video about what that is in another video, and also he will be on a sexual offenders register for life. I think in this case that justice has been served, and I hope that young girl can get some healing and closure from the fact that he is now safely behind bars. And I hope that the young girl and her parents can get the therapy and emotional support they need to, you know, resume some kind of normality in their lives as well.